Today I'm going to be discussing Hamartia. This video has a classical definition, some major exemplary characters which best fit the definition, and some pop culture references. Alright, so what exactly is Hamartia? Now, let's remember it's a fatal flaw, a like grand flaw in the protagonist or in the hero that leads to his or her downfall. Aristotle first used this term in his essay called The Poetics, which is the first known, literary theory and essays on a list of essays, a group of essays on literary theories. Now, Aristotle has described Hamartia as an error that the protagonist makes, okay, that sets into motion some unavoidable chain of events. So the character from goes from being good, the most liked character to the most hated character. Now, the Hamasha can be anything, right? It can be a sin, it can be an error in judgment to a fatal flaw that the person has. So, the Greek word from which Hamasha is derived means to miss the mark or simply an error, right? So, it can be summed down to the protagonist, starting off to do something really grand, but ends up committing a murder here, lying to someone there, trusting someone too much, and completely going off course and ending up doing something that is grandly disastrous. Hamasha can also refer to something that first seems like the best part of the character, but because it is in such excess, it leads to this flaw which the person has. So, a fatal flaw or hamasha can be any of these: pride, overconfidence, ambition, passion, arrogance, vanity, rebellion, jealousy, greed, anger, spitefulness, selfishness, possessiveness, stubbornness, vengefulness, lustful feelings. So, all of these make up someone's hamasha. I've given a few examples in the coming few minutes. Coming to Oedipus, one of the first tragic characters in Greek literature, the man and the king who wouldn't listen to anyone, but all his flaws did one good. It led Sigmund Freud to analyze us to the core. Another example from the classic literature is Antigone, who, because of her loyalty, is completely ruined. Her excessive loyalty towards her family is what ruins her. Here are some major tragic characters by Shakespeare and their fatal flaws, which ruin their lives quite literally. So you have Macbeth with his violent ambition, Romeo and Juliet with impatience, adolescence, and passions, Othello, who is extremely jealous, King Lear, stubborn pride, anger, Julius Caesar, of course, his quest for power, Brutus, his poor sense of judgment, Cressida with all her unfaithfulness, and Hamlet with the fear of confrontation. Dr. Faustus's greatest flaw seems to be his ambition and his hunger for knowledge, which till a few years ago I wondered how could it be a flaw, but damn the innocence which knowledge sucks out of you is not worth knowing. So Kit Harington has acted as Dr. Faustus in the theatrical drama by Marlowe produced by James Lloyd. The older generation which enjoys Faustus as a classical literary piece will absolutely detest this modern adaptation, but millennials and Gen Z go right ahead. Now, Frankenstein or Frankenstein, however you pronounce it, is not the monster. He's actually the doctor. And the monster was originally called Ego. My favorite description of the doctor is in Penny Dreadful. The character and the dialogues are absolutely befitting the one who's definitely going to have a tragic downfall. But let's not forget Mary Shelley, the one who actually created this character. Don Quixote. I too would have been suffering from ideal fantasy had I continued to read only fiction. But then let's agree, I'm no great heroine in any writer's head to be going through Marcia. So, well, that fatal flaw best fits Don Quixote. So, pop culture has given us the most tragic and grand characters who've risen and fallen because of Marcia. But the Dragon Queen happens to be a grand metaphor for it. A little secret? I would have definitely preferred her to be the queen instead of Snow. He lacks ambition, guys. Come on. And of course, we have Walter White from Breaking Bad. Coming to Scar, he's my all-time favorite villain. He's suffering the blues of ambition. Jafar should have also settled for being the Sultan of Agrabah instead of, yearning for more power. Do let me know what you think this guy's Hamartia is, and if you come up with any more pop culture, major tragic heroes and heroines, do mention in the comments below. Thank you for watching.